Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, all the allegations. Are you attracted to men or women?
It depends on my mood, my vibe.
Is it true that you've had sexual relations with Meek Mill?
I can't tell you that.
Meek Mill has officially broken his silence, lifting the lid on one of the darkest chapters of his life. The rapper has come forward, hinting at disturbing events that left him betrayed and blindsided. His name surfaced in a bombshell lawsuit tied to Diddy, one loaded with jaw-dropping accusations. Among the shocking claims, Meek is suggested to be one of the individuals directly affected with allegations of coercion and manipulation. The revelation has only poured more fuel on an already blazing fire, igniting massive buzz across the industry and online.
Coming out of this week was a producer that worked with Diddy named Lil Rod, did a lawsuit, and in that lawsuit he alleged a lot of things, one of which is that he was slipped one of the famous drinks that Diddy does, and then he woke up feeling like something had happened to him during the night. I can't say the word on YouTube, but people know what I'm talking about. And he also alleged that Meek Mill and Diddy had a relationship, a sexual relationship. I wanted to see if you had read any of this, or if you had any reaction to people actually coming out now and saying that Diddy does stuff with men that's not just the Cassies and the escorts and whatnot.
Well, yeah, you know, I love y'all when y'all act like this on YouTube, like y'all haven't been hearing Reggie Wright speak on this stuff. I told y'all, I said real soon it's gonna start coming out about men, because Puffy is not paying for male escorts, ordering up male escorts if he's not doing it for his enjoyment. You only order up female escorts and other females if you get down like that. You don't be ordering up no male unless you want that male with you. So for all the others acting shocked and surprised, I said somebody's gonna come out and expose him real soon. And of course, that's what's happening. It's unfortunate that stuff like that happened to people. I know y'all believe in that Illuminati stuff. I don't believe in Illuminati. I'm gonna tell y'all up front. And y'all say now because the powers in the be is not protecting Puffy is the reason that these people are coming out and suing them. No, that ain't why. Because now, once you pay out people, and that's why when he paid out that judgment, the next day I told him that was bad. Because when attorneys would take on cases and say, hey, this dude paying out this quick, he'll pay us $1 million right quick, or $300,000, whatever, if he wants stuff to go away. And you know, I'm sure those insurance companies that he has that mainly y'all don't know is the one that be paying those things out. I try to educate y'all on is usually your company insurance companies that pay them out and make the decisions when you have the business insurance or the businesses, you have the different type of insurance that make you pay out the things. Because by the time you have all the different lawyers and stuff involved, it's just as quick to settle a case. So that's unfortunately is what's happening to Puffy. Everybody's gonna come out of the woodworks suing him. I'm not trying to say that he don't deserve any of these lawsuits. I don't believe about Meek Mills. I'm a Meek Mill fan. I don't know what happened. I noticed when he talked about it though, Meek Mills didn't deny it. Like I said, I don't want to believe that that is true, but I'm one of those like y'all. When people don't say you motherfucking crazy, I ain't never did no like that. Then it's usually some smoke with that fire. And so I'm not up here saying Meek Mills was involved in that thing. I'm not saying Usher. Yeah, you know. Or Justin Bieber and all of them. Puffy gonna turn out to be our modern day. Oh, y'all about to get mad. He gonna be our modern day Michael Jackson is what Puffy turning out to be, in my opinion. That's my opinion only. I know black folks get mad when we say Michael was doing that stuff, but I believe Michael like doing things with little boys as well. That was my opinion. Y'all ask me how I know. I know an alleged victim that was around us. He's a very, very good friend with Ray J today. But anyway, man, it's hard for me to say whether this stuff is true or not. I'm not going to get up there and start debating it.
But it doesn't stop there. Meek also dropped a terrifying account of a near-fatal car crash that nearly ended his life, what shook fans even more. Meek hinted it may not have been just an accident. With tensions between him and Diddy mounting, conspiracy theories are running wild. Internet detectives have been connecting dots suggesting the crash might have been linked to threats and shady behavior tied to Diddy's inner circle. Meek hasn't held back online, voicing his suspicions and cranking up the public's curiosity.
Heard it. I've been telling y'all, Puffy been giving y'all all the signs that he's trying to come out of the closet. Hope he finally come out of the closet. It's obvious in 2024, we don't care. Society don't care no more. They done TV shows and all of that done brainwashed us to say it. Half of y'all, well, maybe 10% of y'all in the comment section take, and hey, that's just the era we live in. I have a problem with gang. Y'all say, well, why you care what a man doing and all that? Because that's one of the main reasons that God flooded the world and set the world on fire and did all the stuff that he did, because he was mad when he found out that men were down here having sex with animals and having sex with other men and stuff like that. That was the one thing that pissed off God. Y'all read your Bible, y'all learn. I know there's more to it than what I just explained, but that was the gist of what happened. So that's why I have a problem with homosexuality. But I know in 2024, I'm from an old school where in the 80s and the 90s, people that were doing that were hiding it. And now y'all out with it. So, hey, that's on y'all. But my point to saying that is, Puff needed just to come on out with it. Because those lawsuits and stuff is going to keep people blackmailing him and threatening him, and they're trying to expose him with these things because they think that he's scared of these things coming out. And once you don't give a fuck and tell them, I don't care. Do what y'all gotta do. These were adults, these weren't kids. Everybody that did something like that wanted it. It ain't too much that's going to be happening. The next thing that's going to be happening, and after this, is now you're going to start seeing some criminal investigations getting opened. And because when you get too much of this smoke, law enforcement generally gets involved. So that'd be the next thing that will be happening to Puffy, unfortunately, for his sake. Y'all know I'm one that believes if you ain't getting psychological help, getting some type of help, and you're a victim, you gotta come right away with me and tell it. Then you're a victim to me. But when you're talking about it and you haven't been getting some type of psychological help, and then you 10, 15 years later want to come talk about it, y'all better not ever have me on no jury for no like that. Because I'm going to be like, get the f out of here. Why didn't you bring it up when you happened? That's what's supposed to happen to victims and victims to me. This stuff come out immediately. Not years later. Not when you finally find an attorney to take the case because they find this open season and they seeing that you opening up the checkbook and stuff like that. And so that's what's happening to y'all boy Puff, P. Diddy, Brother Love and all of that. But don't act like y'all just starting to hear it. Cause I've been telling y'all, the brother is a homosexual, and he's fighting it, trying to hide it, and he needs to just come clean. Yeah, he'll be good. Y'all remember when I told y'all that deal, when that last video? All of y'all need to apologize in the comment section too. When I told y'all that his deal wasn't, he still had that deal with Ciroc. And when I talked about it, everybody was like, oh, they already did away with him. And I told y'all, ain't true. You can't just take stuff from, well, then y'all just see the article a couple of months later where they settled with him and they made a deal with him. I'll be trying to tell y'all stuff, but I love how y'all go listen to other motherfuckers on YouTube and all you YouTube attorneys. But when y'all want to hear stuff, know stuff, get it right, y'all know what to call. Ball first. You get it first.
Meek isn't letting this slide. He's come out swinging, fighting back to protect his name and legacy. In a series of bold moves, Meek made it crystal clear he's not scared to go against big names in the industry. What he sees isn't just controversy, it's a coordinated attempt to destroy his image. But Meek's done playing nice. He's pushing back louder and harder than ever.
You know, but then a lot of people love my opinion. That's why you bring me on here. And I really appreciate that, brother. I just want to say this before we get started, Art, is that, you know, a lot of people think I came here to bring a black man down. And that's what I hear in the comments a whole lot. But it was nothing like that. You know, a black man didn't cuss a dead man's mother out. A black man didn't set his friends up and put them in a situation where they couldn't come home to their families no more. A black man didn't reach back and help the people that helped them make it up the ladder. It was Puffy. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of Puffy going on different platforms talking about how he loved the people that we was all with, how he loved the people that helped him, when in fact, none of that stuff was true. So my whole thing about it is, man, I appreciate your platform for letting me, you know, voice my opinion. And like I said, opinions like an asshole. Some of these cats out here get paid for their asshole. I get paid to give my opinion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, yeah, you just on here giving your opinion, man. I mean, you was one of the people that was real close to the situation, so why not?
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So with that being said, right, the last interview me and you did was a day after the raid. And when you look at everything now, man, how you feel about everything? It's been like a week, you know, you knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy. Could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bruh, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that, because back then, he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has changed. And the behavior that he shows now, and that he has shown by being Brother Love, I couldn't imagine that the police would be raiding him for sex trafficking? Nah, bruh. I couldn't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him back then. He's a totally different person that he became. If you've seen him on other platforms, you know, inviting men to party with him, inviting men to go shopping with him. You understand? That wasn't Puffy. That wasn't Diddy. That was Brother Love and Love.
How you feel about all the people that's wondering why haven't any of Diddy big name friends came out to defend him?
Because either two things that I believe. Either they know some of the stuff is true, either they took part in some of the stuff that happened, or they scared that it may mess up their brand. See, nobody wants to be in contact with anybody that allegedly was sex trafficking. You see what the WWF did to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was one of those people that was called for sex trafficking. We don't hear a lot about it because he gave up the company, he did what he was supposed to do, and he became Ghost.
Now he's speaking on the betrayal he says came straight from Diddy. Meek revealed painful memories of being manipulated by someone he once considered a mentor. He claims Diddy used his power to put him in disturbing situations, leaving Meek feeling used, humiliated, and stripped of control. The betrayal cuts deep.
They're trying to do the same thing to Puffy. They trying to make him or hip-hop the face of sex trafficking like they was going to do to WWF at one time. Because that was a big story. So a lot of his people that know him, a lot of the people that been in those parties and seen probably some unscrupulous shit that went down and was like, ooh, I was there. I hope they don't got me on tape. They feeling a certain way. So they're not gonna speak on nothing until they've been approached with something. You gotta realize when Homeland Security get their evidence together, they're gonna send agents out. You understand? They might send an agent out to me. Yo, what do you know? What have you heard? What have you seen? What's been going on? You know what I'm saying? You know, did this happen when you was around him? Did this happen back in the day? That's what they're gonna wanna know. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna send investigators out. They're gonna send people out for anybody that they can get some information from to help their case. So those celebrities ain't gonna say nothing. You know, you got your man Stevie J speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exists, you know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine he had every room taped and bugged and they found little bugs or little tape recorders, I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh. They just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man, I know they gotta be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, They got him. They got tapes and stuff.
It's not just the events, it's the aftermath. Meek opened up about the emotional weight of it all. He talked about feeling abandoned and emotionally broken, trying to survive in what he calls a toxic, power-driven industry. The trauma didn't just hit him physically or legally, it left lasting scars on his mental health. And now he's finally telling the world.
The Rod lawsuit came out, and there's the gay allegations about Meek Mill as well as Usher, but Meek Mill was the one that got real upset. He said, I'm not gay. Like, he's everyone stop asking me if I'm gay. I'm not gay. And then you went in, and then he essentially threatened to kill you.
So essentially what happened is, we've been, I do long live streams. I'm streaming for like 5-6 hours. Like, when these things are happening, we're not just giving quick takes. Like, I'm going, like, even today, I bought the Christian Combs document, like the entire lawsuit. We're reading it word for word. We want to see what's because a lot of times on these sites, I've always said, like, I kind of pride myself on trying to go the extra mile. A lot of people just go to, like, say, I don't know, Rolling Stones or Variety, and they see a summary of what's in a lawsuit, and they regurgitate it and even make it even smaller, and they put that out.
Yeah.
Well, I got time, and people want deep dives, no Diddy, and we got a lawsuit. So the Lil Rod lawsuit we got.
Yeah, I read through the whole thing,
and it didn't mention Meek by name, but there was a footnote.
A Philly rapper who used to date Nicki Minaj.
It was like a Jeopardy question.
Duh, who is that? There could only be one person on the planet. Unless there's a Philly rapper that also dated Nicki that no one knows about, it's obviously Meek Mill.
So essentially, I reacted to, like, I literally found out on stream, like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, no way Meek Mill was in these freak-offs. Like, I know we've seen the video in the pool and the matching outfits, but no, Meek is like the toughest, biggest gangster. Like, he's like a killer. Like, no way he's like getting, bent over by Diddy, the diddler. So I reacted like, I'm not even believing it. That reaction went viral. And the next day, Meek, as I said, he's a special type of stupid, as 50 would say. He's seen me reacting to it and thought, I made it up. So he's like, yo, you know what I'm gonna do to academics when I catch him? Now, previously me and Meek had a truce.
But I remember, because I remember the last couple times I brought his name, and you're like, hey, listen, me and Meek are cool right now. I don't want to take these shots at him.
We had a truce, but Meek and him being so dense and being so dumb, he actually thought that I made up the lawsuit. And by the way, even after he started threatening me, and I said, I didn't make it up. I said, just clear up whatever it is, but I didn't make it up. You know what he said? This is clearly AI generated. Like, I'm like, yo, Meek, Meek is so dumb he couldn't even spell AI. Like, how the hell you know this is AI generated? Bro, this is an actual lawsuit. I'm showing him, like, look, it's filed in federal court.
Right.
Nah, this
Here's
lies.
the PDF file.
Exactly. So
the PDF's AI.
Yeah, so he basically starts, he says, you know what, man? He's like, yo, he starts going like off the deep end. He hasn't even cleared up the rumors yet. Like, rather than saying, hey, this is lies, I'm gonna have my attorney, deal with any salacious lies spreading about me like a normal entertainer would. I am not gay or whatever the case is, or I've never been in any sexual situation with Diddy. He says, I'm gonna kill you academics, and what I'm gonna do is, he says, first things first, he says, someone send me academics address.
Like, he said, I'll die to shut you down.
Yeah, then he says, I'm going to die to do it. Then it was so
which is crazy. Which is a crazy thing to say. Meek is cut it out. You're not gonna die to shut down academics. You're a multi-millionaire with a great career and kids. Cut it out.
Yeah,
grow up.
Meek literally then tweeted out a couple tweets after. He said, well, the governor just called me, and I was just like, this makes like, wait, you're planning a murder online, and the governor calls you to talk you out of it? Like, also, the reason why him and the governor are in cahoots is primarily because he's the guy that they kind of taunt around for prison reform.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I'm down to die over it.
Yeah.
The funny thing, I always tell people, I would say this is a gangster rapper paradox when they're threatening a civilian. They say this, yo, I'm gonna kill you, this and third. And if you actually say, all right, I'm not scared of you still, because you usually back out once they say they're gonna kill you, because they're a gangster rapper. They rap about spinning blocks, Glocks, and switches. They're the killers of the earth, okay? When you tell me you're not scared of them, they flip it on you. Man, you just trying to trick me out of my position. You trying to send me to jail.
Right, he said, I'm gonna treat you exactly to the effects of you influencing, I'm gay and I have 3 sons. I'm getting you Addy now, I'm coming.
Then he told me he was gonna record a video and pee on my steps. And I was like,
Right.
I imagine Meek just like sneaking up and like, first I'm like, yo, that's a sexual crime already. And Diddy is already into some shit that you're alleged with. Don't pull out your penis on my property. That's a problem. That's a sexual crime. You can't just whip out your dick anywhere, Vlad. You gotta tell these people. That's a crime.
Yeah.
So he threatened to come. Don't come with the same dick that you and Diddy been doing whatever with and come pee on my property. Afterwards, he said the governor basically told him that he should stop beefing with me, and then he went into this whole tirade of how he's going to I'm gonna donate some, like so I told him, I said, listen, I said, what's not cool is a rapper like you who's pushing 40. There's nothing wrong with age, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. But still acting like, you're, one day one night he says, because the people in Philly have been saying, you don't even live here. Like, why do you keep acting like you're still in the trenches, like, and you're living a bad life? You live in a really good life. He lives like in one of the most expensive high-rises in New York City, right?
I don't know.
Like, he just showed off like about 10 expensive cars that sit in that car face down in South Jersey, right? This guy's living really good. Yeah. Except he's saying that he's down to spin, because people from his own hometown said they're not here like.
Out of the 7 lawsuits connected to this scandal, 2 now name Meek Mill directly, accusing him of misconduct during his time around Diddy. Just when things couldn't get more chaotic, a brand new lawsuit dropped, heating up the already raging legal battle and dragging more names into the fire.
And before we really even get started into this, and it's because something I seen today. This girl, Tiffany Red, she said that she was filing a claim against Diddy, but it touched me crazy, man, because the hurt that I seen in her voice, in her she crying, man, and she worrying about what this dude could do to her and what he has done to her. Man, listen here, I want to let this young lady know, and I know this is not the place for it, brother, but please allow me to say this to her, man. You know what I'm saying? I started this battle long time ago, and the situation is that, bruh, we already won. This was some spiritual that Pop, the spirit of Pop, the spirit of Big, the spirit of Miss Jones, the spirit of Wolf, all the people that he has done wrong, so Black, all the people that he has done wrong, bruh, is coming to light. We already won this spiritual. What we going through right now with these trials and everybody, with this financial situation and everything like that, all that is superficial. That's the physical part of it. The spiritual part of it was won because Big, Pac, Wolf Mother, all the people that he did wrong, bruh, you understand? They already won the battle where we were supposed to win it at. So now we just going through the physical part of it, man. And I want that girl to know, man, that she ain't gotta fear no man. She ain't gotta fear him, nobody else, man. Whenever she needs, you understand? Whenever she needs somebody to travel, to go with her, to make sure she all right, I'm a phone call away, man. I'm a phone call away. And go ahead with your questioning, man. I just had to get that out, man, because that girl touched a lot of people, man, because all she wanted to do was write music, make music, and show her talent and her love to the people, man. And then she got to feel this way, be fearful and scared of her life and stuff like that. Ma, I ain't scared of no man. You understand? I ain't scared of no man. Nobody that got to put their pants on the same way I do. Not at all.
And for the people that don't know who Tiffany Red is, that's Cassie's best friend.
That's one of Cassie's friends. She was writing a lot of music, and she said that she was writing music for her friends to get raped too. Oh my God, man, come on, man. Start with your interview. I'm sorry about that, brother, man. That shit just it's crazy to me, man. Man, Leopard don't change his spots, and Diddy been doing this shit for a real long time, bro. He been doing this for a long time, and now another artist. This artist didn't wait 10 years. You know what I'm saying? He didn't wait 20 years. You understand? He waited a year or two after he stopped working with him and saw he didn't get what he was supposed to get. And he said, yo, listen here, man. I'm putting in my claims right now because I'm going to show everybody what really happened, what really went down. It's crazy. When I was reading it, I read the whole thing. Shout out to Keisha in Kansas City. she sent me the whole documentation, bro, and you know, the whole court thing. And when I'm reading the stuff, you know, it sound a lot of it sound familiar. You understand? And what I mean sound familiar, how he would get other girls and get girls to try to, you know, convince this guy, you know, or put him in a sexual situation with other girls so he could do whatever he wanted to do with them. And it's just like the situation somewhat with Sarah and her girlfriend and him and Ja. You know what I'm saying? Bringing girls on to try to convince this other guy to be in a room with another naked man and all this other bullshit. Yo, it all sound familiar, man. I read the whole thing, man, and it was crazy.
And for the people that don't know what you're talking about, because the lawsuit is new, so, you know, some people still catching up with it. Little Rod, he alleges that, you know, Young Miami cousin tried to have sex with him in front of Diddy.
Yeah, he went into the bathroom, and then she came into the bathroom and tried to, you know, throw herself on him. He didn't want to have nothing to do with her for whatever reason. And then when he came out the bathroom, she continued to try to do that and try to have sex wanted him to have sex in front of Diddy and the rest of the people that was in there. You know, that's how they do, man. They try to use a girl that you might like, or you may think you might like, or they think you might like her or whatever, to convince you to lay down your guards with them. And he didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And you're not surprised by none of this, because you said that Ja Rule, they did this to him, right?
No, remember, and people got it confused when I said that Ja and him was in the room with two girls, with Sarah and Sarah's girlfriend. You understand? He was trying to get Ja to go at Jay-Z. So what he did was try to get another girl, you understand, to do something with Ja, I guess. I don't know. They in the room together. So when they in that thing, I know what he was planning on doing because I heard the conversation. I knew what was going on. He was trying to get at Ja, so if he had got Ja in any kind of uncompromising position, he could force Ja to go at Jay-Z. So that's just a thing that they use. Lil Rod, he get him in a sexual position and a sexual situation with some kind of girl, and then maybe get him high, get him drunk, or whatever like that. He don't know what he doing. One of the guys step in, and now he doing Lil Rod. Now Lil Rod all messed up in the mind because he started off with a girl, but now he end up with a guy. He trying to put him in some kind of situation like that. They do that all the time in the industry.
So Diddy got a history of doing that. One thing I did see in this lawsuit, you know, Little Rod, he alleges that, you know, Diddy's son Justin was helping Diddy, you know, get underage girls. And I guess he was bringing them to parties.
To them news about Diddy rigging his whole house with cameras from the feds, everyone who went to those parties went silent.
What about that?
I think Justin is the boy that could do it, if anybody. Him or either Quincy. You understand? Justin is a pretty boy. You understand? He look young. He around that age, what he about 25, 26?
And if that's not eerie enough, reports say federal agents wired Diddy's mansion with surveillance. Every corner, every room. Since then, the silence from his party guests has been deafening. Nobody's talking. Nobody's showing up. The mansion that once hosted the rich and powerful now feels like a haunted trap.